Good morning. Since I got some sleep, I can think 8 hours. So I'm going to teach you today about value, right? And we're going to learn all about fiat from this little bitty thing right here. All right. And you're saying fiat is shit. Fiat is trash. You're right. You're right. It's toilet paper. It's garbage. But that's not the case. If you remember this and what this represents right here, this is value, right? We had that little thing called COVID. And when we had that little thing called COVID, this stuff was indispensable. People would get in fist fights over this, which is worthless, basically. But you know what they say? Value is only as important as what people are willing to offer. Just like if you were in the desert, a glass of water may be $5,000, but if you would be willing to pay that at least. But in a store, you might only pay $1. So value is the need for it, right? People need this, that therefore it has value. And the same thing with fiat, right? The thing is, people don't need fiat right now, right? So you don't think that there's any value in fiat. Just like toilet paper, we didn't need this. 2015, if I said, I'll sell you this roll of toilet paper for $10, you would say, no, I'll go get a 50 pack for $10. I'm not doing that. That's stupid. All right. But there comes a point in time when supply dictates the value, right? Let's talk about that. Set that down. Coffee time. Well, I'm going to do a long format. I was going to do this in under 2 minutes, but you need to think about this shit today. How many bills are in the world? How many fiat bills are in the world? If we take every single dollar out of circulation and put them in a pile, and I'm talking in France, in Europe, and the United States, everything, we brought them all, let's say, to the Nevada desert, and we piled them in the desert, there would be $2.3 billion in circulation. Cool. That's not a lot of money. In fact, let's think about that. How much is just one company worth? Apple Computers. Apple Computers is worth $3.5 billion, and the total supply in the whole world for fiat is $2.5 billion. So, if Apple said, let's go on a quest here, and let's collect every single dollar bill in the whole world, and let's give them a 30% up mark. So if you gave them $1 million in cash, they would transfer into your bank a value, a digital value of, let's say, 1.5 million. They could effectively, I should say, not ineffectively, they could effectively corner the market, just like the gold rush, where there are, not the gold rush, but the silver, when the Hunt brothers or whatever were trying to corner the market. They were trying to take all of it out of circulation so that they owned it all, dictating the value, growing it up. Just like if there's 1 million rolls of this at the store, no one gives a shit. But if there's only one pack, I'll punch you for it. I need that shit, right? So this increases value. So you see how little of fiat there actually is in the world. And the reason we don't care and give a shit is because this world is digital, and we see it as, well, there's Bitcoin, so it's going even more digital, and there's no reason for those little pieces of paper ever. Come in chaos, come in the inevitable, what you didn't think was going to happen was going to happen. I think at some point, if the whole system does a little bit of crash, if your credit cards don't work, and we've had that recently, haven't we? Where you go to the store and you say, I want to pump some gas, I'm on the road here, and they're like, sorry, our credit card machines are down. Do you have any cash? Most people are going to say no. No. In fact, if this all stopped overnight, and the only thing you could use was dollar bills, wouldn't that have some value? That $1 bill would probably buy you a tank of gas, because people want to own that because it has. Now, there'll be a time here where it'll have value, I think, but then there'll be a time where they'll catch up, okay? Let's use Pokemon for that, right? Pokemon. What's that have to do with anything? When COVID came, we had a card supply shortage of Pokemon. And in return, what did that do? That raised the value of the cards. There are not being cards produced, therefore the cards in circulation have more value. And you watch the price of Pokemon just skyrocket, just like crypto, where people were making money hand over fist, just by buying and reselling, because there was so little value in stock. There was so much little in circulation that people were willing to fight over it. Okay, so in return, what happened? Well, COVID didn't last forever. And what did the Pokemon people do? They started printing more cards and more cards and more cards, because they knew it had value and there was demand for it. So what are we going to do? We're going to meet that demand by increasing production. And what does that do in return for the value of this? Well, I can't go on the corner right now and sell this for $5, right? Ain't gonna happen. In fact, if I tried to sell it for $1, most people will walk by me and be like, nah, I don't even want it. So the same thing happened, and the US government will do the same thing. If there is a crisis, they will turn on those money printers 24/7 and say, we're reassuring you, the general public, that you are going to get those $20 crisp bills in your hand that have value, and we're going to produce them for you, right? So it's weird that you have this item here that's unlimited. You have basically someone came to your house to play Monopoly. This is the government. They came to your house to play Monopoly, and they said, okay, well, instead of using this Monopoly money, what I did was I brought a printer with me. And it prints unlimited Monopoly money. So when I run out, I'm just going to print some more. And people are like, what? We're playing the game here. We have a set amount. You get this, and you work with that. They controlled the system. They beat the system, and that's what Fiat is, right? That's a guy that came to play Monopoly and said, I'm just going to bring my own printer. Fuck you. I don't need to own that. I can just print up the money, and then I'll own it. And that's the U.S. government. So we take Fiat with a grain of salt, and we say it's never going to have value. They can always make more. It'll always be there. We don't use it anyway. Accidents happen. So we have things right now. One of the biggest things right now is hackers. Hackers getting into the system. And we see this with the cloud. All kinds of stupid shit. Your data's already gone. Your data's been stolen 1,000,000 times by now. You're on the dark web, all that stuff. But hold on here. My bottom line is, you should probably have a little bit of cash on hand. A little bit of cash on hand. Because there could be times, and it's a risky proposition, isn't it? Right? Why would I hold 10,000 in fiat when the 10,000 in fiat I hold today is going to buy me, what can I think of? Let's say a new computer, right? And in the future, it won't even afford a new high-end computer. So it would be stupid of me to hold some money in fiat. And I don't mean hold 10,000 in your bank and then expect to try to extract that when we have a value proposition, right? When the bank doesn't even get any money, and you go into a bank and they don't have any money. You go into the vault, there ain't fucking billions sitting there like you think there are. You may walk in a 10 by 10 bank room and there's only a pile this big of actual dollar bills in there. It's not a lot, people. It used to be packed to the gill, but it's not. But we have a run on the bank. We have any kind of value proposition for fiat, and it will be a better return than crypto. It'll be a better return than the stock market. It'll be a better return than a 401k. It'll be a better return. I think that fiat will have its day. And I think that will be the end of fiat, in my opinion, because it is going to end. We've had 2,000 different currencies in the past over all the ages with fiat, and every single one has failed. We know this is going to fail eventually. But I'm not going to bet the bank that it's going to fail tomorrow. I'm not going to say, well, shit, the government's going to crash, so I'm not going to pay taxes anymore. I'm going to rob and all this, because 20 years goes by and nothing happens, and you pay the cost, right? You're banking on the system collapsing, and it won't collapse. It'll just readjust. It'll morph into something else. So I wouldn't do that. But if you had a little money, I think I would keep 5-10 G's in bills. $20 and smaller, not hundreds. $20, because people don't even fucking take 50s and hundreds right now. But just a couple bands of 20s might completely and utterly make you rich in the future. Isn't that crazy? The thing that was worth $1 and is now worth 3 cents may go up to a value of $1,000, and then they print the shit out of it and then go down to nothing after. That'll be the rebound. That'll be the end of fiat when they say, holy shit, we need all these bills, print, and they catch up. Just like Pokemon, right? Just like Pokemon. There was a need for these cards. We're going to overproduce the shit out of them. We're going to make more sets. We're going to bring stuff back in. We're going to get these cards in the people's hands, and we're going to extract that value from them from selling them. But in the process of us extracting money, it's like a cycle. They're extracting money from us for Pokemon cards. Their value is increasing. Now, if the way were the other way around and there was too many Pokemon cards, just like there is now, then they're not able to sell it. And then the consumer extracts the value and the producer loses the value. It cycles, right? Eventually, we're going to have that cycle. I think so. Eventually, we're going to have the fiat cycle that fucks everyone over, right? There's guys that have millions of dollars in the bank, and guess what? They have $0 fucking bills. Zero in cash. That's why most people that are millionaires keep at least 10 G's off to the side, somewhere hidden in a safe, hidden in a different location that they can extract, like a go bag or shit hits the fan bag or something like that. You know what I mean? They'll have a backup plan because they know the value of money is power. And when you lose all that value, you lose all your power. Therefore, if you're a millionaire, you never want to go back down to being a thousandaire, right? You've grown in that status and you don't want to go back down. You don't want to eat twigs and berries when you can go have a nice fresh pizza made for you. So there's always that thought in the back of their head to retain that value, store that money. So yeah, but a lot of people are going to get fucked. That'll be the biggest money transfer ever in history if that happens. Ever, right? Because this thing that was worth $1 and is worth less than 3 cents. Hold on, let me get rid of this phone call. There we go. Okay, it kept recording. Usually it stops or something. But the thing that was worth just toilet paper, right? Toilet paper. And why would I say this? I'm saying this. Hold on, let me get rid of this.